Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Project Sisley series on the FDMY21 channel. And essentially this weekend I've spent most of it underneath this panda having a great time. I've been getting my clothes really dirty, I've been getting bits of paint on my face. As you can see, there's a good old Hammerite underseal on my face. I've been doing a bit of engine enamel painting as well, so I will show you that in a minute. But it's raining now. They did say that it was going to rain Saturday morning and the rest of the weekend, you know, it'd be a bit windy, but it'd be dry. So I left Saturday morning, you know, didn't do anything. Then I spent the rest of the day underneath the car and it rained a lot. And that's annoying. And then today I thought, well, I said it'd be dry today, so I'll finish it all off today. And now it's raining. It's not raining too bad at the moment. But I thought I'd start the video in here and tell you that I've been doing a bit of undersealing, a bit of engine enamel. So I'll show you around that in a minute. In episode 4 next time, we're going to be looking at doing an engine oil service and a gearbox oil service. We've got some Westway oils, a gearbox oil. I'll show you that when we get to that. And I'm going to be using some of the Fiat oil and a new Meat Doria oil filter. Although I do actually have this this new man filter, which is the same, so I might just use this one. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a new engine oil filter and new engine oil, obviously, and new gearbox oil. So I'll be doing that next time. But today I'm going to show you around the rain's dying off, so I'm going to show you that now. Wish me luck. Well, we've had a brief break in the small bit of rain that we've had. We didn't have a lot, which is fine. I wanted to start the video that very moment that it started raining. That's typical of it, of course. As you can see under here, it looks a little bit less like surface rust and a bit more like underseal now, because obviously I've used some of this stuff. This is Hammerite Underbody Seal with added wax oil. And sometimes, you know, some of the wax oil products, I don't massively like some of them, like the overcoating ones. But I am a fan of this particular can, or at least I was until I bought a pack of 6, and 2 of them, these 2, didn't want to spray properly. So not a massive fan of those ones, but this one that actually worked, and those 2 over there which are empty, they were fine. Engine enamel, I've been using this Simon's stuff from Euro Car Parts, and it's quite cheap and it works well. So I've been using that on Pandino and Jurassic Panda in the past with no issues, so that's fine. Here's some Westway lubricants, by the way. This is 2-stroke oil for the Wartburg, but if you ignore that, I'm using Westway lubricants oil, their special gearbox oil for classic gearboxes. I'll be using that for the gearbox in this on the next episode. But yeah, I've been using some of this, and this product is okay, I think. I mean, as I say, I don't massively rate the normal wax oil products, because I feel like the Built Hamber stuff is much better, and I probably will be using some Built Hamber cavity wax spray on this. Obviously, if you treat the car right and you use it in winter weather, then you're going to need a bit of cavity wax in there. You're going to want to underseal it. Obviously, the key to using underseal is not to just underseal over rust and problems, because they're going to become other problems down the line. So obviously I've made sure that this is all clean. Obviously, I mean, these have lots of rust problems everywhere, these cars. They can do anyway. The inner sills, mainly the rear sill, like the rear arch seams, mostly around these seat belt anchor points as well. Sometimes they can push in. I've had a couple of pandas that have done that, so you need to weld that up. Obviously the doors are a rust problem. I don't know what would make you think that, you know, other than the fact that you can just stick your hand in there. It's fine. Again, on the front I've done some unsealing. I've used quite a lot of unseal, as you can see, but I feel like it's best to protect the car. So I think you can never have too much if you're obviously not layering it on, and obviously if you're not spraying over problems. So that's the key there. Yeah, underseal on this side and on the rear as well, where I have put a wheel on this side, because what I'm going to do now is put a wheel on each corner, and I'm going to check the bearings and for any play and everything. I have actually done it on this wheel already. Can't show you because I'm holding the camera at the moment, but I've put a hand on either side of the wheel and pushed it each side, and pushed it from the top and made sure it spins. And by pushing either side as well, we can see if there's any play in the bearings, and there's no play in this bearing, so we're happy with that. We're going to check the other side, make sure the other rear is okay. Then we're going to put them on the front and check that there's no play in the ball joints there, although I will be replacing the bottom ball joints anyway, because the dust covers are damaged. So as a matter of course, I'll be doing those ball joints, but just to check there's no play in the track rod ends, because obviously they can have problems as well. I've wire brushed and WD-40'd these and the lower joint bolt as well, because I'm going to be taking off this carrier to take to do the ball joint which is underneath, which I'm going to show you again under there. So I'm going to be doing that, and obviously I'm going to be doing the new pads and discs as I've told you. So this will be all fresh, new ball joint, new pads and discs, and we'll be good to go. On the rear, I will just show you on the other side now, another thing that I've done. I talked about it in the last video, and I do still need to secure this brake line into this. Obviously through age, this has just become worn, so I need to push it in, and then I'm going to cable tie it around. Same on the other side, I'll make sure it's all in. The brake line has been rerouted so it's underneath the handbrake cable. Before it was the other way around, a little bit precarious, so I've done it that way. And what I've done is I've removed it from this side and moved it all around, rerouted the pipe so that it's not touching anything. And then I've rebled the brakes, and I've put these little caps on. They're actually caliper hose, sort of like I know what sort of one I'm looking for anyway. The cap that they put in the calipers for the hose when they come refurbished. But yes, that's what I've done. Underneath, I've undersealed everything I can, and everything looks pretty fresh under there, so that's a bonus. You can also see that I've sprayed the exhaust in engine enamel. Obviously this is not a brand new exhaust, I've just sprayed it, but it looks 10 times better sprayed like that, because otherwise you get this rusty look to it, which you know, we don't want that for Raymond Homes. We want proper stuff. So I've also gone for the engine enamel, and exhaust is painted in exhaust paint as well, high temperature paint. You can see I've got a bit of paint on that Fram filter there, but I will be replacing that with the Man filter or the Meat and Doria one, whichever one I decide. I've got a choice now. But yes, essentially that's what I've been doing. I've been painting under there. I've checked all the other sort of bushes and stuff on the front. These look really good, and as I say, I'm just going to check now, see that there is no play in those ball joints, so we'll check that just now. Well, you will never guess what, at that very moment I decided to check the rest of the bearings and joints, it rained again. So I waited a minute, and here we are again. I've put the wheel on each corner now, just used the same one just to check, and then I've been taking it off. I will take it off in this one in a minute, but yeah, the bearings on the rear absolutely fine, no play in all of them. Wheels turn freely, so that's a massive bonus. On the front I couldn't get any play either, so I will still be replacing the ball joint anyway, because I'm pretty sure I've got new hub carriers with new ball joints in stores somewhere, so I will check that I have those, and if I do, then I will put them on, because it's always better to have new if you can. At the same time, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but I've got a spare, so we may as well, eh? No problems with the ball joints and the track rod ends, and everything else seems to be fine. The steering rack is turning freely, it's turning left and right absolutely fine, spinning around fine. Obviously you can hear the discs are a bit rough where the rust has been taking hold, where it's been outside for a little bit. As I say, they're going to be replaced, so that bit is going to be fine. Another bit I did just want to mention was on the rear here, where the rear axle is. You can see this is the breather here. There's normally a cap over here, and when I did Jurassic Panda, which I will show you now because it's just over here, well, what I did is when I painted Jurassic Panda's rear axle, I did it in white, as you can see. There's the cap on there. I literally lathered on this white paint, and yeah, please excuse some of my awful welding. Anyway, yes, I lathered on the white paint and actually painted the cap into the axle, if that makes sense, and it couldn't actually breathe, so I ended up ruining the front and left oil seals for the diff oil. So even though I just changed the diff oil when I did the lift kit, I had to do it again because I had to change the seals. Anyway, I thought this time while I paint this, I'll take it off. Anyway, it fell off in about 7 million pieces. I've made sure it's all clear inside, but yeah, I'm going to need a new cap, so I will look into that, getting that as well. Anyway, I think that is mostly what I've done for now. So thanks very much for watching this one, and we hope to see you in the next episode for the engine and gearbox oil service. And there should be another episode. I don't know if it'll be a different one or not, but we will have another episode for the obviously the brakes change and the suspension ball joints change. So yeah, that'll probably be another video with all of that content. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Just a quick shout out here to Mark Howling, who's one of the previous owners of this vehicle. He spotted my photo and videos of this in the Fiat Panda page, and he contacted me with details of this car. He owned it for quite a few years back in the mid-2000s, I believe, and he told me who he had sold it to, and obviously then I know Dave, who owned it after that, and then me, and he said that he bought off the first owner, who had it for probably 15 years or so, and they sold it due to brake issues. And Mark Howling did a bit of wax oiling on this car, so ultimately, being a high mileage car, that was probably its main advantage in surviving this long. So big thanks to him. He sent me an old photo of it as well, so that's great to see. So thanks very much to him. And well, essentially thanks to him, I imagine this car is probably still here, because obviously these suffer with the rust a lot. So it's good that someone back 10-15 years ago now made the effort to make sure this car survived. And so now we're just making sure it's even more future proof for the well, obviously for the future. So yeah, thanks very much again, and see you in the next one.